My name is Corey Williams, and I am the president and owner of Momentum Small Business Review. I'm also a proud football coach, assistant coach at Granite City High School football. I've been interviewing a lot of our juniors and senior players about why you should give some of your hard-earned money to these young men that are really trying to turn this program around and help put a shining light, if you will, on Granite City and the Granite City athletic program. It is my good fortune and honored to welcome our guest on today, the first coach that I've been able to talk to, Coach Dom. Man, Coach Dom. Coach Boyd told me you were coming. I'm like, okay, who's Coach Dom? You keep saying all this stuff about him. And then you showed up on one of our first film sessions that you were on, and I'm like, wait a minute. This man plays some Division I football too. I could tell by his conversation. So, Coach Dom, glad to have you, man. I'm super excited to partner with you. I think we're going to shock some people in this conference with our defense and putting some kids in the right spots and all that. Coach Dom, why did you come to GC, and give us a little bit of background about your where you came from? I think you're from around the area as well. And then a little bit about your college prowess. I had some success in college, but nowhere near yours. So it's a beautiful thing to be humbled, right?
Yeah.
So, Dom, floor's yours, man.
Yeah. Well, first of all, thanks for having me, Coach.
Absolutely.
It's awesome. My name is Dominic Davis. I actually went to high school in Belleville West. Me and Coach Boyd actually graduated the same year. We played football together in high school. He was my high school quarterback. So that was pretty awesome to have that connection with him already. I actually went to North Dakota State, got a little jewelry there, man. Got about 4 national championships, a conference championship as well the year that we didn't win a national championship. So out of 5 years, got 4 national championships. I would say very successful, man.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty awesome.
Can't do any better than that.
Man, I think I played top level football, man. It was pretty awesome playing at that level. I got to see and experience a lot of things, and and that contributes to why I also picked, GC, just having so much knowledge and also connection with Coach Boyd. He offered me a spot to come back. I was originally living in Texas. I had been there for 5 years or so. He contacted me like, hey, we have a spot open for, coaching. And it was, I wouldn't feel right not, contacting you to see if you would want to coach and everything like that. And I was like, just give me a few days to think about it. I mean, and I had already knew I kind of wanted to, I was going to make it happen no matter what, just to, reconnect with him. And also that was our goal since before we had even got to college and high school, about probably our junior year. We said after we graduate, after our careers and stuff like that, we would come back to the area and coach. And it's so crazy that full circle that this thing actually, was able to happen. So when he called me and it was like, offer me the position, I knew I had, was going to offer it, but I had to give him, wait a little bit, make him feel something, and it was like awesome. I was like, man, this is exactly what I wanted. I packed up in about a week or two, and I was, what he told me, it was about a month or so. I had already everything planned out and drove my car here, and now I'm back in Belleville, Millside area, and
that's
it's
awesome.
Exciting to be here. Like I said, the experience that I have from, playing, like you said, D1 football, I have so much knowledge, and I just felt like it would be wrong of me to keep all this knowledge in, man. I know so much good football. I've seen so much good football, and I want to help as many kids as I can get to the next level, become better than I was, you know what I'm saying? So
that's how it is.
Being able to influence them, the younger generation, what do you want to do in life? What do you want to do next? Because I want them to understand this football thing goes way further than just football. Teaches you how to be a young man, teaches you how to be a man. And I tell people all the time, a lot of the lessons that I've learned in football, I don't use on the football field. I use in my regular day life, every day, starting with that discipline as well. And we've been doing an awesome job of teaching these kids,
I think so. Yeah. And you can see now, being one of the newest, kind of the same thing. I didn't have a background with Coach Boyd, but, when I got here and, a couple of conversations we had before he offered and before I accepted the position, I've ref for over 20 years. I've coached, I've done all that stuff. but it was just something different about what he was trying to do here. So then I went and looked up like GC's football record, and I'm like, wow, like this really is the ground floor of this. And then asking him like, how many kids are coming? Like to be able to endure that year after year after year after year after year after year after year, right? And then all these kids are coming out, and he's like, man, there was like 7, 8 kids coming. We got 30, 40 kids strong showing up for practice, and they're learning, and you can tell they're understanding. You can see it in their eyes. So, you know, from a defensive standpoint, because you and I run the defense, you know, it's awesome to be able to go and film and point out things to them and then say, what are you supposed to do here? And they know it. That means when it comes Friday night, they're going to be able to fly around the field because they're assignment strong football, you know, which comes with a lot of your pedigree from being a national. There's a lot of people get to say they got 1 national championship. You got 4.
Yeah.
And 5 conference championships. Like there's not a whole lot of people in the world that can say that legitimately. Right. So, like I said, the first film session, when you started talking, I'm like, oh boy, this man understands some football. This is going to be fun. And then just being out on the field and, you know, you making calls on the field, and I'm just stepping back. I'm like, do your thing, man. I don't care if I make this. I don't care. As long as the kids are in the right spot, we're going to do this thing together. What do you see since you've been here? Because I've had an opportunity I watch film like crazy. I've already started watching Freeburg film from last year and all that stuff. So they better look out. But, you know, it's one of those things like, what have you seen in your, past? You've been here, what, 3, 4 weeks, something like that now?
Yeah.
Yeah. I know what my perspective was when I got here, and it was positive, but it's just continued to grow. So what have you seen from the transition the last 3 or 4 weeks from where the boys were at to where they're at now that you think will translate onto the field here in a few weeks?
Yeah. First, I want to, shout out the boys, and just give them praise and, because it does take a lot of courage, discipline, bravery to be able to come out here year after year and be able to, still be dedicated to this program after, the years that they've had. And it's awesome that they're able to still, come out and be a team. But they've been doing an awesome job. Coming in, I didn't really know what to expect because I did go to Bevel West, so we did get a chance to see Granite City every single year. You know what I'm saying? So I do have a little history with Granite City, in different sports as well. And it's just awesome to be able to be on the other side of it, on a struggling program. And it's like these kids have been working so hard, even though they know what happened to them in the past. And it's awesome to see that they don't let that hold them back,
Yeah.
And it's really good to persevere through all those things that, this year could be different for them. And that's what I try to push on the seniors, this is your last year. How do you want to be remembered? And one thing, when you said something, one thing that stuck out to me when we were in high school that our coaches always said is, man, go get your name in the newspaper.
Yeah.
Go get your name in the newspaper. And a lot of these kids are developing at a level, because I would say that we have kind of a younger team.
For sure.
And a lot of them are developing a lot of our sophomores are stepping up, I'm saying. And it's about that time that they do step up. That's when people start to kind of understand the game of football a little bit more. But even them coming up as a team, a few times this past week, we get on them about accountability. And next thing you know, I hear people, oh, go back, do it again. And I'm like,
that's what I'm talking about.
Like, that's awesome to hear, man. Like,
coach to see that, right?
Yeah, like, and I was like, okay, I can step back a little bit because I know the players are going to keep each other accountable.
Which is what we were talking about before I started this. Like, there's some of the players that are starting to step up. We were in practice the other day, and we got out there, and they were kind of moping around a little bit and walking around like, no, y'all come here. I got something to say to y'all. Like, get it together. Pull your head out of your area and get it together. I know y'all sore. I know we're in camp. Freeburg don't care about that, and nobody else on the schedule cares about that.
And guess what? They're in the same heat that you're in.
Exactly. So then they started flying around. So
and it was
that's
just
cool.
It's so awesome to see that because with our I didn't know what to expect with our numbers as well, but we're getting to a point where the numbers we are being able to put guys in right positions where they belong and, do good on good so they can see what a true look looks like, against something that they possibly never seen before. Right. And the way that they pick it up is pretty awesome to see that development, like from even as long as I've been here, from week 1 to week 3, it's been awesome just to see that development of them, just picking up plays, understanding football, because a lot of these kids, this is their first time playing football,
Right.
First 2 years, only been
Yeah.
playing for a couple of years, where me and you, we've been playing this since,
Yeah. Been playing since fourth grade. Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
kind of, it's it's a little different just because we were a little bit ahead. So we just have to slow it down for the kids and eventually, I mean, they're getting it so at a rate that I wouldn't expect it, that we can kind of step it up a little bit more for them.
Yeah. Shout out to the young man and shout out to the coaching staff. We had, and I'm hoping that they do watch this because I want to shout them out. Coming in and asking Coach Boyd, like the coaching staff that was here, how has that transition been and those kinds of things. And they've been so gracious of welcoming us in. It could have been that pushback. This is how we've done it. Those guys have really, really turned the page. They've done an awesome job. It's been fun working with all of them. And, we're joking around with each other now. We're getting to know each other better. We're understanding what our levels of understanding of the game. And that's going to be passed down to the kids. Like, even working with Coach Durr, there's a lot of these kids didn't understand what gaps were. They didn't understand techniques. They didn't understand a 2 or 2-eye or a soft 10. They didn't understand that. But now I'm like, okay, line up soft 10, field side, and they just move. And I'm like, okay, now we can start. Now we can start coaching, right? Because they get it. It's exciting. My last question to you, Coach. This has been fun, by the way. My last question to you is, I know you come from the enemy. No, I'm just kidding. I know you come from Belleville, but you're here now with us at GC. What's it like coming out of that proverbial tunnel, August 21st, 2026, Friday night against Freeburg? Tell me about it.
Man, I think it's going to be so electrifying. I think the community and as well as these boys, they've been behind each other, honestly. And I felt like the boys want to give the city something to be proud of. And I also felt like the city wants to see these boys shine. They've seen the struggle of this program and of these boys, so walking out that tunnel and being next to these guys, just seeing them get after is just so awesome. I've actually it's been a couple years since I've coached, so I haven't been in it in a while. I got a chance to step back from it and realize how much I missed it.
Yeah.
And being able to go out and run through that tunnel with these group of guys, I think will be so awesome, honestly.
Yeah. There hasn't been 1 second that I've come to practice that I haven't been excited to be there and watch these young men develop and just being able to give back, what people have given to us and teaching reference to teaching us football at a very high level and being able to us having the wherewithal, being blessed enough to be able to bring it down to the level where the boys understand it and then start raising the level that they can put that on the field and we put them in the right spot.
And that's why I like to wear my cleats to practice, just so I show them that I still got it.
Hey, Dom, my knees can't handle all that, so I'll jog a little bit, but that's it.
We can still line up. I'm only 30. We can get
it. I got about a good 5 to 7 yards, and this is a wrap for me, so I'm going to leave that to you. Dom, this has been great, man. I'm looking forward to connecting with you and learning more about you and building our personal relationship. I think that's just going to help show up on the field. And looking forward. You're a very dynamic individual. I know I'm pretty lively out there as well. So I don't know if the field's going to be able to hold both of us down. But come Friday night, I think some people in our conference and around the state are going to see that GC football was back. We got a lot of work to do. We got a lot of improvement to do. But we're a better staff with you here, man. We appreciate it. I'm glad you're here, man. I'm looking forward to working and developing our relationship. And we'll see you on Monday.
Awesome. Thank you. Thanks for having me, man.
Absolutely. Thanks for being on. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks, Coach.